Okay, I think it's going. Doesn't say it's going. Okay, now it's going. Awesome. All righty. Well, as many of you know, we've been constantly trying to improve things over here and make sure that what we do is useful and serving. And so there has been a shift. We've changed the name of this call. It's no longer the Share Success coaching call. It's now the doTERRA Business Success podcast. And so we love stories, and we know that you love stories too. Forgot to start the recording. Welcome to those who are just joining. Just a little reminder that the name has changed to the Business Success, doTERRA Business Success. So it's just a space where we can come together and really celebrate success and dial in on what's working through stories. So I'm your host, Andy Goddard. My wife, Natalie, and I have been building doTERRA for the last 18 years. And as you know, who we are is all about putting a healer in every home. We've seen the impact that doTERRA has on people's lives from a health perspective, financial, and also just the emotional side as well. And so we created this podcast to inspire you so that you could create more of that in your life, whether it's health freedom, financial freedom, whatever kind you're looking for. So super excited today. We have a new guest, Anastasia Sagyan. This is a leader that I met on the incentive trip, and she has already built an elite team. She has an amazing story about collaborating with her upline to get on the incentive trip. And so I've invited her to come on and share her story and inspire us today. So Anastasia, welcome.
Hi, everyone. I'm so honored to be here today. Thank you, Andy, for inviting me. And I'm just an elite, but I really, really want to share my story with all of you. Because when I just found out about doTERRA, I work in conventional medicine field. Like I work in conventional medicine, so for me it was just about maybe like emotional something. I never looked at it from the side of actually helping with the health issues. And then also like my upline, like I saw like she was talking about business a lot, and she was talking about products and ranks and possibility of income. And I was like, okay, I already make a good income. Like, I don't need that probably for now. But then something happened last year.
So give us a little bit more background. What were you doing as a profession? What was life like
Yeah,
before doTERRA?
so I'm an advanced dental hygienist and implant care specialist. So I work like with teeth, um, and like I believed in conventional medicine mostly. So like something hurts, you take Tylenol. And 1 year ago exactly, like last Christmas, something happened in our family. My husband experienced severe unexplained pain. It was neuropathic pain, like we found out later on. And at first, like of course, I took him where to urgent care, right? Like urgent care, they told us just take steroids. But I've been like on doTERRA already for a couple months, and I was hearing from my upline, from my friend, that like you don't have to take Tylenol right away. like, try this. Just keep this Tylenol unopened next to your kid's bed. And I have 3 kids. So, and she's like, try peppermint oil with lavender first. So I was keeping that next to my bed, and one time I actually tried, and it works. So now with my husband, I took him to urgent care, and they tell me steroids. I know steroids, it's pretty strong, and I was like, how can we avoid it? So I tried just like doing nothing and investigating further. And then on the New Year's Eve, we were supposed to celebrate with family, and he just collapsed. He couldn't stand up from the bed. We didn't know what's happening. I took him to emergency at this point. And eventually we've learned that the symptoms were looking like shingles, but no rash. So eventually we've learned that it's called allodynia. Allodynia, it's a neuropathic pain when even the slightest touch causes extreme pain to your body. So he couldn't wear clothes, he couldn't walk, he couldn't, like, when I was driving him to emergency, every little bump on the road felt like a disaster for him, right? So when we got to emergency, they were running all the tests, and they telling us, we don't know what it is. They never put diagnosis, by the way. Allodynia, it's like my other friend doctor like told us. So one doctor even told him in emergency that it can stay forever like that. And it was, of course, it felt devastating in that moment, because like the household, of course, runs on my husband mostly, on his business. So he had to stop his business. We had to stop like our life, basically. And what we start doing, like I read this book about Boyd Truman, The Symphony of the Cells. And I started doing these protocols. I was doing forgiveness protocol. I was doing neuropathic protocol for him every other day. And after 2 weeks, we saw results, like slowly, and then completely recovery. No pills, not even one pill, no steroids, nothing. So after this, I start looking at this completely differently. I realized something very important, that doTERRA is not just selling products, that they're actually offering like possibilities to us. They offering hope that my family got. So that's my little story that I wanted to share. Sorry if I took too long.
No, that was perfect. So it sounds like your background, your husband works, you work in the dental industry, and you were pretty sold on Western medicine. But it took a little bit of a life crisis to kind of shake you up and say, is there a better way? Are there better options? Can we approach this from a different angle?
Absolutely.
So then you started sharing, and you started tell me what that process was, from going from now you're a believer in the product to you decided to share enough to get yourself on the incentive trip. So that was a big shift.
Yes. So, of course, after this, I digged further. Like, I got this book. Of course, I love it because it's like my like everyday go-to. Okay, and with 3 kids, I started using it first on myself. Like, I was like, okay, I'm determined to buy every single product from doTERRA and see how it works on me. Okay, so right before incentive trip, by the way, my kid, he got ear infection, and I was like, oh my God, how I'm gonna fly? This kid wakes up at 4 a.m. He's screaming from pain, and I know like we cannot put essential oils in the ears. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I gonna do? So I go to the book, and I remember one of my friends also told me you can put it on a cotton roll, like on a cotton pallet, whatever, and I put a couple drops of tea tree and lavender, and I put it inside just like that, put it all around. By 6 a.m. I had to already go to my flight, and he's okay, he's peacefully asleep. So what are the coincidences when we got to the doTERRA first lecture in the Dominican Republic? The pediatrician, she was talking about, or maybe second lecture, and she was talking about how oils can help with ear infections.
Mhm.
And I was calling my husband. Oh, she said, do not stop, continue for 5 days. So it was
Mhm.
very, very interesting.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
so, so using essential oils on my kids. Sorry, my essential oils dropped.
No,
So
dang it.
couple of them. Yeah, so using it on my kids, it actually worked because I have a lot of friends and they start asking me, okay, like, what do I do here? What do I do here? And I start sharing just with my friends first. Then my friends start sending their friends to me. So then I
Mm.
started doing aroma classes, and then this aroma classes brought me more people, and it just like a word of mouth, and it started happening
Mm.
and happening, and my appliance is like, oh my God, you subscribed so many people this month. I'm like,
Mm.
yes, but I didn't know what to do with these people, and that's
Mm.
when education should come in. And that's when I didn't realize I have to follow up with people, I have to continue talking to them, you know. Um, so that's
Amazing. So it sounds like you had amazing experiences with your husband, with your children, but were these topics coming up naturally in conversations, or did you find, I mean, those had to have been pretty impactful experiences. So I'm guessing you were bringing up those experiences in conversations.
I've noticed that just my regular stories work, like I
Yeah.
don't try to sell oils. I don't try to, I just listen. Like I listen to what people tell me. And that's very important because I like to talk a lot and I can talk for hours. I can share my stories for hours. But first, it's very important to stop and just listen because you don't want
Mm.
to talk about ear infection and, to the friend who doesn't have kids.
Yeah.
So first I just listen what people tell me, like, okay, oh, my back hurts, like even my husband, first he was making fun of me. He was like, oh my God, I have an oil lady in my house now. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna push it on him. Like, you don't want, you don't want. So what I start doing, he's an athlete. So when he comes home and everything hurts, like I just put Deep Blue on him one time, like I just rub it in, like I listened to his pain, I gave him solution, and then after that, the next he thought it's coincidence in first, of course, but then after a couple days, he comes back and again, like he has a strong pain after, in the back. And he's like, oh, what was that thing again that you rubbed last time? It actually helps. I'll bring it in, like bring it here, So then I rub it again. And guys, it's crazy because before he would be doing like he completely stopped. He has no zero alcohol. He doesn't drink, not even one drop. Before he says like, because I'm from Ukraine originally, in Ukraine we have a culture that you do shots. So you do shots there. So before he was doing like shots of vodka. Now he is doing shots of oregano,
Oh
oregano
my goodness.
and on-guard oil, and it's completely like shifted the way like our household runs, and it's been only 1 year since we found out about doTERRA, and
Wow.
it's a miracle because there is absolutely no shots. There is all health shots like in the fridge. So I would say like you need to listen first and then give a solution. Don't try to sell.
I love that.
My point.
So powerful. Listen first, solution second, right? So I think a lot of people are probably curious about these oregano shots. So I, we've got someone asking a question. So I've never drank vodka, um, but I assume that it's a pretty strong flavor. Oregano is a really strong flavor. What is he doing? Like, is it 1 drop, 2 drops in water? How much water?
Yes, so you know that water, it's gonna make oil even stronger, right?
Mhm.
So usually when oil comes to your eyes, you don't want to put water there. You want to put oil and so on and so forth. But he takes a little shot glass. He puts water there to make it stronger. And he puts 2 drops of oregano, 2 drops of On Guard. Of course, he does it not on an everyday basis, only when he feels like he's getting sick. So if
Mm,
you already feel sore throat and if you already feel like you're going down with the disease, it's the number one solution in our house for him. I
okay.
prefer my vegetable capsules,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. Sounds like your husband is a real man to be taking that
absolutely.
much oregano and On Guard straight down the barrel. So that's amazing. And you said that he doesn't drink alcohol anymore.
Absolutely not. Not even 1 drop. Yes, that's it.
Wow. That's huge.
I
So
think now
cool.
he's more oil man than me.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. So tell us more about your hopes. You said that doTERRA is much more than just selling a product. It's about hope. Tell us more about your hopes. What do you hope to create in doTERRA? What do you want to create in the business with your life?
I sincerely want, I mean, probably it sounds like a cliche, but I want to help people, especially women like me, moms, regular moms who don't know, they don't have education because we were growing up on big pharma. Like something hurts, you go, you run to the doctor, and not always those solutions are the best because it will heal one. It only will take your symptoms away, but it's not gonna dig to the root of the problem. So I dream of a community of women who are maybe yes, they keep the Tylenol somewhere in their cabinet, but first they go to natural remedies, and because like we are meant to be like that.
Mhm.
Initially, we're meant to be in nature. We're not meant to put our kids in front of TVs and give them Tylenol. When I saw results and being a disbeliever, and when I saw the results, it actually changed completely our lives, as cliche as it sounds. So hopefully, I want to spread the word. I want to empower other women by my own stories. Maybe by hosting small classes in the beginning, like I'm doing now, and maybe then I'm gonna, you know, put it like I'll share one story now because in my country, like I've lost my house already, like there, like my family house and everything, and there's many people who now suffer from depression, from anxiety, and when I sent like adaptive oil and adaptive capsules to my relatives there who are still there, they're thanking me so much. They're so grateful. They say like these oils became our rituals. Like I send them like the wellness kit, like the foundational 10
Mhm.
oils.
Mhm.
And they say like it's our rituals now. We
Mhm.
go and it helps psychologically to overcome those issues that they're dealing with on an everyday basis now. So that's already a small change that I think I made in my community there. Um, so
I love that. The
and
oils became our
empowering.
rituals. That's
Yes.
such a powerful concept. You said that you want to keep teaching classes, and when you got started, you started with aroma classes. Tell us more about are you primarily enrolling through classes, and which class do you teach? Do you have a favorite?
I like to gather people at my own house.
Hmm.
Sometimes my favorite is, of course, I teach, like I concentrate more on how to cure disease. Not cure disease, we cannot probably say that, but like how to cure the symptoms, right? Uh, how to help in your own household, just like with kids, with husbands, I just share my experience. So
Hmm.
I always recommend to start with those 10 oils, but not to forget that doTERRA it's not only about oils. Like I always mention that it's also about supplements, like bringing your house to be non-toxic, changing all those household items. So I think that's my favorite format that I work with right now.
Fantastic. So you're not following a particular class outline. Like there's not a class handout that you use. It's primarily your story and then your 10 top
No,
oils.
because I noticed it doesn't work for me, at least it doesn't work
Great.
the handout
Hmm.
like the official. Some I was writing scripts in the beginning,
Hmm.
like I was writing like, okay, like I'm gonna ask this question. But what works for me the most is just creating this atmosphere, this energy in the house, like
Hmm.
this space where people feel safe to share. And
Hmm.
once they share, and if you listen carefully, what they're sharing with, instead of trying to jump, because usually when we're not listening properly, when somebody still talks, we already think what I'm going to say next. But
Hmm.
if you stop, pause yourself, and it was so hard for me to do because I'm a very jumpy person, You can see my walls just dropped because I was like gesticulating. But just stop, pause, and if you listen, like in the safe environment, people start sharing with you,
Hmm.
and you just give them solution on the base of the knowledge that you have, the natural solution. Either it's probiotics, either it's VMG, either it's like maybe some rituals, oil rituals, like I told you. So
Beautiful.
my favorite, yeah.
I love that. I love this idea that you don't have to follow anybody else's system. You don't have to, like try to be someone else. Like you're literally just creating a safe space. And I love that idea that you're sharing that once people feel heard and seen and safe, they really do open up and they feel safe to talk about really deep issues and fears and really go to meaningful places. So
Because Andy, remember, like people don't wake up like thinking like, oh, I need to buy essential oils from Anastasia,
yeah, right.
like they wake up and they're thinking like, oh my God, I have back pain, like, oh my God, like my
Yeah,
head hurts, I have migraine, like what I'm gonna do, like, and then Anastasia, they call Anastasia, oh my God, and that's when you tell them like,
I have a solution.
yes.
I love that. Stephanie is asking, what do you call your classes to get them there? To get them there, like what's your invitation look or sound like?
So in summertime, because now it's like we had a huge snow storms here, but
Hmm.
in summertime, I prefer to do it in the form of aroma picnics.
Hmm.
So I made my husband to build himself like this very low, long table, and we sit on the pillows around this table, and I decorate it beautifully. And I do like my treats, and I use essential oils in the treats. So that's how I call it in summertime. In wintertime, I like to call it wellness classes. And because like we gather at home and we talk again, I would cook like specific treats with essential oils. I would do like a tasting of collagen, like VMG, electrolytes tastings, and like in this, so wellness, we talk about wellness a lot, so it's like very broad, but people like that.
Fantastic. So if you were to give someone who's thinking about doing this business or someone who started doing this business, if you were to give them one piece of advice, what would that be?
I guess I'll come back to the beginning. I would say don't try to sell, try to empower, try to educate, um, share your own story. Um, that's pretty much it. And it's gonna come naturally. And
Yeah,
listen, and
yeah,
listen.
beautiful. So profound. Thank you so much for taking the time to share your story with us. If anybody has any questions, we'd love to have you come on. Just raise your hand and we can bring you on live, or you can put it in the chat and we can respond that way. Jeff is asking where you're building your team. I know that you're from Ukraine, you live in New Jersey, but tell us where your team is. Are you doing online? Is it in person?
Most of my team is in New Jersey or New York or in the tri-state area, Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
But I do have like several Ukrainian people who ran away from Ukraine because of the war, and now they're in Lithuania.
Mm.
So she's gonna be my soon advocate, I hope, you know. She's still a
Yes.
client, but she's very interested and we're working on that right now. And she is curious to start this business as a refugee in Lithuania.
Wow.
So yeah, we're working on this. Like it's European market, so
Mm.
I'm learning with her. It's all new for me too,
Absolutely.
guys. We're learning
Yes.
together. Yes.
Yeah, that's how we do it, right? That's the business model is we go
Right.
together. Next question Ruth has, what treats do you prepare for your classes?
So actually, there is a lot of recipes that you can find online, or like, but I prefer to just, let's say, if you bake something instead of cinnamon, you would add like cinnamon oil instead of like, what was like the best treat I've had? Muffins. Like we do like a lot of just like, let's say, I even when I wash the fruits, very cool trick by the way. When I wash the fruits for the picnic table, I add like a couple drops of lemon, and I explain how it helps to get rid of pesticides and how it's a proper way of cleaning our fruits and vegetables. And that always works. We even did candles one time, and also we would add like essential oils there. We were doing it ourselves, and you can buy all the kits on Amazon. Like, just use the Terra oils instead of. Yeah, but usually I find all the recipes online.
So just look online for recipes and swap the seasoning like cinnamon. So you said you do muffins. What other treats have worked well?
What are the treats for?
What other treats? You said muffins, but what anything else that you've liked besides muffins?
I like to do crepes also,
Oh,
and
fun.
you can add like to like we usually stuff crepes with let's say cottage cheese, and you can add like a couple drops of like even lemon oil like to give it like a specific like taste. If
Mm.
you let's say like rose, you can if you like generous enough, you can add like a little bit of rose oil there. I, by the way, got it for points, just points. So there is also ways to get your oils much cheaper or free, even that
Wow.
much expensive oils as rose. Completely free. I got it here.
I love it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Who
Thank you.
doesn't love free stuff, right?
Yes, and also I'm talking a lot about on my classes actually. What works great is like I talk that perfume they're toxic, and we switched perfumes with like jasmine, like vetiver, whisper, rose, like rollers. Adaptive works amazing as well. And same like you can add like let's say wild orange to the crepe stuffing, you know, like or lemon or like
Mhm.
any oil, like whatever you prefer. Usually citrus oils work the best for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Citrus are always a hit. Somebody else had a question. Back to the vodka. I think a lot of people are curious about the vodka.
Favorite.
How did that change happen? Like, how does Paul is asking, how do you go from being a regular vodka drinker to oils? Like, was that intentional? How did that happen?
It's a miracle. Like somehow, like my husband, I mean, he was not like drinking vodka every day, of course. It's not like he was
Mhm.
like like on occasions, of course. But somehow, like when you become into health, when you read about wellness, like when you read this book, even alone, you know, like you read this book, you're like okay, like you attend all these webinars and we trying to be healthy, we try to get rid of toxins, and then naturally you don't want to drink vodka after that.
Mhm.
Okay, I did detox course, you know, like for 3 months I was like on detox, like trying to avoid sugar, you know, like I did all that, and now I'm gonna drink vodka after this and ruin all that work or all that hard work? No. Like thanks.
Right.
So then step by step, even on the new year's and birthdays, he's like, you know what, it's not worth it, it's
Yeah.
not worth it anymore. And like he prefers oregano, turmeric, you know.
Awesome. It reminds me of a builder that we had who had a Diet Coke habit. He probably drank 4 or 5 Diet Cokes every day. And Natalie suggested that he start putting, I think it was grapefruit in his Diet Coke. And so he started with 1 drop, moved it up to like 3 drops, and then 5. Pretty soon, something about the grapefruit and the cleansing effect that it had on him, he couldn't even drink Diet Coke anymore. And so he went to straight grapefruit and water. And I mean, just like to your point, when our body is becoming clean and we start to feel and realize what a precious vessel our body is, we don't want to put garbage in it. We just want to, we start feeding ourselves like we were someone we love, and it's a beautiful thing. Another question from Shauna. Have you ever helped someone who had severe ailments that they were dealing with all at once? Like maybe you tried to help with too many health issues and it's overwhelming. And any advice for something like that?
If I understood the question correctly, if I helped someone who were having a like strong illness,
Yeah, but multiple health issues. And so I think what she means is, if sometimes we get too excited and we try to cure like 15 different diseases in one person, it can be really overwhelming. Like it's really hard to um, yeah, like if all of a sudden you go from no health practices to now you want me to take 20 different supplements, oils, all the things, how do we avoid overwhelming our customers with too many things?
I see, I see. So, of course, like you have to create a system. How to create a system? If he's gonna buy a lot of supplements from me and 10 oils at the same time, and usually I would sell it, yeah, I would sell it all at the same time. But if I don't create a system, he's just gonna put it on the shelf and it's gonna stay in that shelf or in that drawer. And usually when when we register a person, I tell him when your box will come, do not even open it until you call me. So then when person calls me, he's like, okay, I'm like, okay, open the box with me together. We take the first, let's say, VMG. And I say, okay, you put VMG next to your coffee machine because I know you drink coffee and you're gonna go there anyway. It's in the morning. So we create systems. So VMG stays next to his coffee machine. Then, okay, you need, for example, lavender. You're gonna put lavender next to your bed because if it's not gonna be next to your bed, you're not gonna be able to use it. You're gonna forget.
Mhm.
If let's say you have breakout on your face and you need to cure that, you put it in your bathroom next to the mirror and you're gonna put topical tea tree oil on your skin, right? So when I create these systems with the client, that helps a lot. That's number one. Number two, I'm very lucky because I'm in an amazing team, and my upline, she's a doctor, PhD doctor of of naturopathy, so natural doctor, and she created amazing work by doing like a specific protocols in on Telegram. We have a closed community group where I can, if my client is on loyalty rewards order already, I can put him in there, and he has in alphabetical order all diseases, so he is not lost. So he has a structure. So he opens the Telegram group and he's like, okay, I have respiratory disease. He goes to respiratory. It's similar, like we have the book, which is amazing, but also that's like in another tool. Like second tool that they have is they have that protocols in alphabetical order, and they have an option to request a protocol as well. So that's number three. And number two. And number three, we have a community also. It's called Health Club. So that Health Club, I also step by step, I go with my client and I tell them, okay, can you see this? Open it, click here, click there. I have to really like nurse them for the at least first 60 days. minimum, I would say. You have to nurse your new client. And that was my biggest mistake in the beginning, because I was like registering, talking about excited, talking about my stories, subscribing everyone, like yay. And then people buy what they need, and I'm like, okay, bye. And I didn't realize, and now I realize my mistake, so I'm trying to solve it. I don't quit my clients. I just go back. I follow up without being pushy, without being like, they're actually so grateful when I do that. So, like in doTERRA Dominican Republic trip, they said like you have to nurse them, you have to baby them, you have to explain it step by step where to go. So if they go to that health club, they have an option of asking a question there. That's all. That's all. That's all I wanted to say.
I love it. So powerful. Thank you so much for all these great suggestions. Um, is there anything that you would coach on mindset in terms of like how to have, good, healthy a mental attitude, how to stay in a positive space, because building this business can be frustrating. There will be uh, setbacks, there will be challenges, and what's your coaching on mindset?
Like I believe that you should, like I never stopped looking and searching for answers with my husband's disease. Like I never stopped, like because like I couldn't see him laying down like that and not moving, and I didn't want to believe what doctors told me that it can stay forever. So same advice I want to give to you guys. Do not stop. If somebody tells you no, maybe it's not today. If it doesn't work out today, like it's gonna work out tomorrow. So follow up with your education. Like me, find what was your mistakes, like in the business. Follow up with value, and follow up because you care. People like don't buy when you talk, like they buy when you feel supported, when they feel cared for. So my biggest advice is, even something doesn't work out, don't stop. Like keep on going, keep on going.
I love that. Such great advice. Thank you so, so much for taking so much time with us, Anastasia, and for sharing your story, your wisdom, your journey with us. I think I speak for all of us that we're super, super inspired and grateful. So thank you so much, and we hope um, to hear more about your journey as you keep sharing and keep inspiring others. So thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Wow. I hope you're as inspired as I was. Anastasia, as we met, she was with one of her builders in Dominican Republic, and I was there with Natalie, and we just kind of looked at each other and shook our heads and said, doTERRA, keeps attracting amazing people who are doing amazing things. Which reminds me of a quote by Dave Sterling. Dave Sterling says, doTERRA is a place where ordinary people do extraordinary things. And so that's, you know, it's a great reminder that, kind of like Mother Teresa said, there are no great acts of love, only small acts done with great love. So that's something for all of us to remember. There's no such thing as going out and conquering Mount Everest in doTERRA with one great act. It's done one person, one oil, one healer at a time. So thank you again, Anastasia. All right, we've got time for a few more questions, so I'll open it up to anybody who wants to um, ask a question, talk through your goals, any blocks or challenges you're working with. So go ahead and raise your hand if you're on live, or you can also put it in the chat. Jeff asked the question, what rank has she gotten up to? She's built to elite so far, and she earned the trip. So awesome. All right, Bonnie says, I'm feeling a little stuck. I need help with belief. Ah, belief, right? It's the one thing that changes everything. It's if you could boil down your doTERRA business and say you know if you could boil it down to one thing, what is it? It's belief. And many of you have heard me talk about the belief levels. So the foundational belief is belief in the product. Up from that is belief in the company and opportunity. And then up from that is belief in yourself. Bonnie, if you can clarify where you're struggling, is it belief in the product and the company and opportunity or in yourself? Or beyond that, it's okay. So she says it's in myself. So Natalie and I created a tool because we've coached a whole lot of people on their doTERRA business. And in fact, let me show you how to get to this tool so that everybody can find it whenever they need it. So you go to sharesuccess.com, come to library, and then come down here under the free downloadable tools. And I think it's under bonus. Yep, there it is. First one, One Thing Mentoring. So this is a great, great tool that it contains the belief levels, but it also has the actions that we take with each belief level and the character that we develop in the process. And it's not only the belief summit, but it's also a diagnostic tool. So you can go in and you can say, this is my belief and this and this, and you can see where there are gaps. So maybe you've got strong belief in the product and company opportunity, but maybe like Bonnie, you're lacking belief in yourself. And so this is a great diagnostic tool. And here's where I wanted to show you on the back, you can have specific resources, things to read, things to do or watch or listen to help build belief in those things. So for Bonnie, it's belief in herself. So we have all of these resources in this middle section that we've found useful in building belief in yourself. So in the Empowered Success system, we have the train guide. And if anybody doesn't know what the train guide is, I just Google doTERRA Empowered Success, and then I go to the tools library. They used to have a link right here. I don't know why they moved that. So you come down, you go to the tools library, and you'll see there's a guide for every rank. So there's the launch guide, which is oh, it's not on this page. Anyways, launch is how you get started. Train guide is for building to Premier and Silver. Lead is to Gold. Multiply is to Platinum and Diamond. Influence to Blue, and Inspire to Prez. So let's take a look at the train guide. This whole thing will help reinforce belief in yourself. And so there's, gosh, what is it, 24 pages? 16 pages specifically tailored to that project of training to Premier and Silver. So that's fantastic. Getting to know your strengths. The more you know yourself, the more self-aware you are, and really leaning into your strengths, the more you will believe in yourself. If you haven't taken the Gallup StrengthsFinder test, please do. That is a huge, huge asset. And I continue to learn from and gain benefit from the StrengthsFinder test and the results. More books. And then as far as doing, these are some activities you could do. There's another great resource, the Why worksheet. Talked about strengths. And then here are some things you can watch. Who loves a good movie? My dad was in cinematography. And so every time we'd watch a movie as a family, he would critique it, and we would talk a lot about what makes a good movie. And so I have special love for great films. So here are just a handful of films that are all about believing in yourself. And there's some classics here. Um, so, so that is my coaching for you and for anyone who's struggling with belief in any of these levels. All of us will have gaps at some point during our journey. And so this this worksheet is a treasure trove of resources for helping you build belief in whatever it is you're working on. Okay. Cindy has some coaching. She says she did the Melissa challenge and she found it surprisingly helpful. And I have been hearing the same thing. So Laura Jacobs at the BDPD told us about the Melissa challenge she's doing. And it's been just a total game changer for so many people. So the oils actually help us shift our beliefs. So I would lean into the Melissa challenge. For those who don't know what that is, um, I thought Natalie sent me, um, okay, so here's what it is. It's you can do it for 15 to 30 days. And basically you're putting 1 drop of Melissa on the roof of your mouth or under the tongue. And I believe the first day you do it once every hour on the hour. And then you do it once a day for the 14 days after that. So I don't know all the science behind it. I know Melissa is one of the highest vibration oils we have. But just try it and watch and see if it doesn't rock your world. Jeff says our team is about 20 people, but not ordering much. We've not been in contact. What do you suggest? A restart connection and or involvement? So this is a relationship business. I love what Anastasia just shared. She really brought us back to focusing on education. It's so easy to share when we're excited about something. So if I were you, Jeff, I would start where you are. Start with whatever product, whatever stories, whatever solutions are speaking to your soul. Start there and lean into that because energy is contagious. We all know that belief levels that I just showed. If we don't have a really inspiring belief in the product, it's going to be hard to transfer that to others. So maybe VMG has been rocking your world. Maybe Melissa has been rocking your world. Whatever is working for you and where you're finding the most passion, start connecting and sharing that with your team, and make sure it's personal. I love what Anastasia also shared about listening first. So mass communication works to some degree, but what works best and works every time is personal reach outs. So connection is where you can really tailor the solutions to them and what their needs are. So lean into that. Okay, lots of questions coming in. All right, Marcia says, that her belief is strengthened most from daily use of the doTERRA products. So oils really help me get rid of my blocks. It works. Love that advice. Thank you, Marcia. Okay, Erica asks us to repeat the Melissa directions. Okay, so basically, the first day you're just doing Melissa on the roof of your mouth or under your tongue once every hour on the hour. And then for the next 14 days, you're doing once a day on the roof of your mouth. Same thing, 1 drop. Okay, Marcia says, I've been opening my house in Florida on a weekly basis. It's helped with my belief as I share my passion for doTERRA. Yeah, isn't it funny how sometimes we get too focused on beliefs and we let the beliefs be our excuse to not take action. But what did Mel Robbins teach us at convention? That, how does she put it? Fear kills action, but action kills fear. So sometimes instead of just like journaling endlessly about our beliefs, sometimes just taking the next step is the most meaningful thing we can do to eliminate a lack of belief or fear. So that's probably worth putting on your mirror in big, bold letters. Um, Fear kills action, but action kills fear. Okay. Um, okay. Julie wants to connect with you, Marcia, if you guys are neighbors in Florida. Um, okay, Ruth has given us more advice. So Laura on the Melissa challenge. Laura says to put the Melissa on your thumb and then hold your thumb to the roof of your mouth for 30 seconds. It helps it helps take your brain up the elevator to higher levels of thinking and consciousness. Awesome. Some advice from Becky to Jeff. I text a customer check-in to all my customers several times a year, and I thank them for being my customers, ask what oils they aren't using and what they're loving right now, and ask if they want to set up a quick 15-minute phone call. This has helped keep my customers ordering and connected. Love that. Okay, Shauna asked, what advice would you give for transitioning to doTERRA full-time? And any suggestions for blending or growing my doTERRA business with my Essential Motions coaching business? Ooh, great, great questions. So, if you're moving into a higher time commitment, like you're ready to transition even to full time, I would focus on the pipes. So, and especially as we look at the 5 different activities, focus on those middle 3: invite, present, enroll, because that's where the results come. Those are the money making or the rain making activities. It's really easy if we have more time to move into what's easy or what's fun. Organizing your oil cabinet is not going to move your business forward in a meaningful way. So that would be my number one piece of advice. There are some great resources in the Empowered Success Library for working smarter and not just harder. So let me share my screen. If you go back to the main Empowered Success page and we look at the business building guide, there is a whole section on, I just skipped oh, wow. Okay, they made some changes. Hang on, that's the build guide. Sorry, I meant to click on the build your business. Okay. So if you come to the business building guide, not the build guide, you'll see a section here called Schedule Your Success. So if you come down to that page 19, it'll give you lots of great advice on where to focus your time and energy to get the most bang for your buck. So here's what I would focus on daily, weekly, monthly, and even annually. So that's and then here's a sample schedule of what a well optimized schedule can look like. So that would be my coaching, is use those resources and schedule success. Okay. Ruth asks if anybody else is driving from Utah to leadership, looking to maybe carpool. So get in touch with Ruth. And then a different Ruth is asking for suggestions on encouraging people to enroll with LRP. I enrolled 3 people on Friday, and all 3 refused LRP because they didn't want to be forced to buy something every month. They said that was too much like another company that sells oils. Huh. Okay. So the simple truth is that people spend money, time, and energy on what they value. And if they don't value something, they're not gonna go for it. So it's our job to build insane value. And I love how Melina Harrison, she's a presidential diamond, she says when she sets up the wellness consult, the first, kind of like the box opening that Anastasia talked about, she says, the way I pitch that is I want you to get the absolute maximum value out of your oils and out of your membership. I never want someone to buy something that they don't know how to use. So I want to help you get the most value out of your products. And I also want to help you find the secret hacks in doTERRA to get the very best value. So I'm going to show you the smartest way to buy. And that's all I say. I don't talk about LRP. I don't talk about, rewards when I'm pitching that. So that's how I set it up. Then at the meeting, we say, okay, are you ready to learn how to get the most, to get free stuff from doTERRA? Anastasia just held up the rose, right? She got that as a free gift, like a $300 product for free. Who doesn't love that? Like, so that's what we teach at our box opening. We say, okay, it's time. I'm gonna open up the curtain, pull it back, and show you how to get the very, very best deals. And that happens to be by being a loyal customer. Costco, if you're a loyal Costco customer, you might get like 3% back. I don't know if it goes up to 5%. Like that's the very highest it gets in Costco. doTERRA gives 30% back. Like how generous is that? So that would be my coaching um, on how to position the loyalty rewards orders, and then that's just kind of the mechanics of how to position the program. It's also on us to help them see like, okay, I've given them a live guide. We've filled it out. We've gone through their health issues. We've created a whole plan for them, a wellness plan to set them up for success. If they see the value in their plan, then they'll probably want to get those products at the very best value. And that happens to be on LRP. So that's how I would position it. And that's my coaching. If anybody else has other, please put that in the chat. Okay. All right, here. What else? Yes. Okay. Awesome. All right. Any other questions? Oh, I see one in the Q&A. Okay. Kathy says, is there someone who is using some doTERRA for Band-Aid but is addicted to painkillers? Okay. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. So basically, you're trying to wean someone off painkillers with oils, and you're looking for advice there. Honestly, I would just go to your favorite reference guide, and I would just look for pain, and then I would just follow those protocols. There's some great tools to support with that. I would never suggest anyone, quit their whatever prescription or protocol they're on from their doctor. I would just help them see other options and ease into that, right? Make a slow transition into that. So any other advice from anyone on helping someone with acute pain? Oh, Jeff says to also look up addictions in those reference guides. Fantastic. Well, thank you all so much for being here today. Thank you, Anastasia, for sharing your story. If you haven't bought your leadership tickets, buy them now. And if you absolutely can't make it there in person, then sign up to get the recap. It's not going to be a live stream. It's just highlights, but it will be 3 hours of power pack content. So be sure to grab that, and we will